Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about Churchill Capital. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. So today we're going to be talking about Churchill Capital and why Churchill Capital has actually kind of just been sinking and what's going to been going on with the underlying stock in itself. Obviously, I hope to answer those questions for you guys by the end of the video and to really show you guys, is Churchill Capital basically a buy at $24.15? So let's dive in and let's take a look at Churchill Capital stock. So today, currently down 12.86%. If we take a look at the 1 week chart, it's down 18.80%. And if we take a look at the 1 month chart, it's doing pretty well. It's still up 2.16%. Now, a lot of people do have to understand, and I know why there's a lot of people who are kind of, a little bit more speculative on Churchill Capital as a company because, this company was trading around $60 a share a little over a week ago. And right when the merger got announced, basically Churchill Capital started to sink. So Churchill Capital and Lucid Motors are actually going to merge together. Lucid Motors is an EV company based out of California. So I know that Lucid Motors is going to do very, very well as a company. I have no question in my mind that Lucid Motors is definitely going to bring a lot of competition to the table. A very well-established EV company as well. They have factories up. They're almost finishing up a factory in Arizona. Also building a factory in Saudi Arabia, and it also has $1 billion backing by Saudi Arabia. So there's a lot of people who are pretty bullish and optimistic about Churchill Capital and what Lucid Motors as a company can actually bring to the table. We do know that the EV market has been very explosive. The EV market has been expanding and it's starting to get more mature. So it's really starting to come down to, why have a lot of these EV companies started to sink? It's not just Churchill Capital. It's not just Lucid Motors. It's not just NIO. It's Tesla, NIO, all sorts of companies are starting to sink, especially EV companies. And part of it has to do with the EV market kind of just entering a bear market altogether. A lot of the stocks have not been doing well. But for me, I honestly do think that people should buy the dip on Churchill Capital stock. I absolutely think it is worth the investment because I know that the company, soon to be Lucid Motors, is going to basically bring a lot to the table. They have deliveries coming out this year. They're going to start selling their cars. They have 9,300 deliveries as of now. But there's also a lot of big-time investors who are super, super bullish on Churchill Capital as a company or Lucid Motors in itself because they know that the EV market is definitely going to be the future. It's more of just about Lucid Motors being able to step up to the plate and actually deliver. For me, I do recommend people buy Churchill Capital at $24.15. I think it's an absolute steal of an investment. Yes, I know that there's a lot of people turned off by the stock because the stock did lose over 50% of its stock value. And I know that there's people who bought Churchill Capital when it was super high, around $50 to $60. And now it's currently sitting at $24.15. So it makes people kind of turned off to invest in the company. But if you guys have the longer term perspective, which investing is always about, I do want people to know, when you're investing, you should always be looking at the long-term potential of a company, what the company is going to be able to offer in the overall long run. For me, I know that Lucid Motors is going to do a great job as an EV company. Like I said, it's going to be Tesla's main rival coming into California and the United States as well. So I do know that Lucid Motors is definitely going to deliver on that side. But even diving a little bit, like the car that they're bringing out, the Lucid Air, it's something that could actually stand up to Tesla as well. It's a 1,080 horsepower, 517 mile range vehicle. And as Lucid Motors begins to grow more and more, then it's definitely going to start making more cars. It's definitely going to start opening up more factories, and it's definitely going to continue to expand on all parts of the United States and maybe even to other countries as well, like China and India and stuff like that. But I don't want people to be turned off to think that it's just Churchill Capital or soon to be Lucid Motors. That's the stock that's just sinking in itself. It's Tesla, it's NIO, it's all the EV companies. And like I said, we're just in a bear market. It happens somewhat frequently enough to the point where, now is a very good time to pick up these stocks. If you truly believe in the company, the investments are absolutely worth it. And like I said, I know that there's a lot of people turned off by Churchill Capital since it's basically lost over 50% of its value. But for me, I remain optimistic in the long term. And I remain optimistic that don't really care what Lucid Motors or Churchill Capital is going to be in the next week. I don't even really care what it's going to be in the next month. But what I do care about is really seeing that this company has so much long-term potential. This company has so much to offer as an EV company. And as the EV market starts to evolve, it's definitely they're going to start selling more cars. Technology is going to get more advanced. And soon enough, guys, the world is going to be revolved around kind of an EV kind of market. So now is a very good time to start picking up these stocks when they're super, super cheap. I do want people to know as well, when Tesla first went public back in 2010, that the stock basically traded the same way. It was around a $10 stock. So really seeing the I value of some of these stocks, for me, I take this as the perfect opportunity to actually just buy the dip on the stock and hold and wait. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. But if we dive in a little bit deeper and we actually take a look, Lucid Motors, like I said, is a very well-established EV company. It's not like some of the other EV companies that have came to the market and IPO'd altogether. There was companies like Hyliion and Nikola Motors and a lot of these other EV companies that kind of went public, but they didn't really have much to offer. It was much more of just a game plan in themselves. And I'm not bashing those stocks, and I'm not saying those stocks can't be big in the future. I'm actually pretty bullish on Hyliion in case anybody wanted to know, but really just diving in back to Churchill Capital, Lucid Motors, I don't want people to be discouraged to be able to pick up the stock. Like I said, if we even take a look at the 5-year chart, ever since its IPO, it's still up over 100% of its value. And I can understand, like, even the 3-month chart looks absolutely amazing at 144% increase, but I can see why people can be turned off because the stock was trading at $60 and now it's currently sitting at $24. So it is making some people kind of nervous who are holding the stock, and it's also making people who want to invest in the stock kind of a little bit hesitant. But now, could it be a more perfect opportunity to actually buy the stock if you're going to be bullish on Lucid Motors in the very long run? For me, I've seen the explosiveness of a lot of these EV companies. I've seen the large amounts of growth that they've been able to sustain, and they continue to grow more and more every single day. Imagine where these EV companies could be in the next 5 to 10 years. I know that these companies are going to be a lot bigger. There's going to be better technology, and definitely going to be a lot more people driving EV cars. So for me, I take this as the perfect opportunity to buy Churchill Capital, $24.15. And relatively speaking, the stock is pretty cheap right now. $24 for a huge EV company is pretty cheap. I think it's pretty cheap for a company that has so much to offer and what it could potentially offer in the long run. I think $24.15 is an absolute steal, and I do recommend people actually buy the dip on Churchill Capital stock. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of Churchill Capital stock. Do you guys think Churchill Capital stock is worth a buy at $24.15? If you guys own Churchill Capital stock, how many shares do you guys own and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.